The UK has previously served as a bridge between the world's second most populous country and the EU because of its historical ties. But in the months that have followed, Berlin and Paris have launched their own charm offensives and redoubled their efforts to secure trade deals. But with the UK leaving, Indian companies now look to Germany, to France, to Belgium. Sunil Prasad. Last month, Emmanuel Macron visited India to sign and seal £11.3 billion, €13 billion in investment deals. Just weeks later, German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier flew out to tout Germany and France as India's new strategic anchor on the European continent and in the European single market. And with Brexit on the horizon, Indian business leaders are now looking towards larger economies in the remaining EU 27 for new trade deals. Sunil Prasad, Secretary-General of the Europe-India Chamber of Commerce in Brussels, said, "Most Indian companies used to go to Britain as their point of entry into Europe." Getty Images. Brexit news. Theresa May led a trade delegation to India in 2016, shortly after the Leave vote. It appeared the obvious choice because of historical ties and the language. But with the UK leaving, they now look to Germany, to France, to Belgium. And they hope for a trade deal to facilitate investment and trade flows. Britain was at least partially responsible for the previously failed EU trade talks after it demanded India reduce its ridiculously high tariffs on Scotch whisky. British negotiators were also concerned New Delhi's condition of a more open visa system with the European Union would lead to an influx of Indian workers, most of whom were predicted to head to the UK. Getty Images. Brexit news. Emmanuel Macron sealed billions of pounds worth of trade deals during his India visit, but in an effort to avoid a repeat of the stalemate, Brussels and New Delhi have agreed to reduce the scope of the talks. Politico has quoted a senior EU official as saying, "Basically the chief negotiators plan to agree during their Thursday meeting which are the areas where we can agree, and which are the points we should better leave aside." Though Brussels still faces the difficult task of navigating their way around India's previous demands on areas such as drug patents, tariffs for second-hand cars and rules of origin. If the initial talks are successful, it could prove to be the first step towards an EU/India deal. But a finalized trade agreement would still take months, if not years of negotiations, with potential stumbling blocks for the EU at every step. Christopher Fjellner, the European Parliament's shadow rapporteur on the India deal, told Politico he was cautiously optimistic over the EU-India trade talks, but acknowledged previous attempts to revive them had repeatedly failed. He said, "We've been here before."
Thanks you for watching. Please subscribe News 2U channel. Goodbye and see you again.